Last year, during my personal Bible study, I read through the book of Colossians, and it struck me how beautifully it described the essence of ethnos and the strategy that the Lord has placed on our hearts. So I took it to the CLT. It describes how Paul worked in a team and how new believers were encouraged to take ownership of the gospel. Through encouragement, prayer, and discipleship teachings, these grassroots movements flourished. The message focused on the Lord, His salvation, and our response to Him and one another. Paul helped them, these new believers of course, to embrace their calling, to see the Gentiles, or in our terminology, the unengaged or the unreached, being focused on, and not to allow any restrictions, a prison cell, or circumstances to take our eyes off the Lord. His message, His mandate, authority, and invitation were so clearly spelled out in this passage. In addition, the message of this letter is greatly needed today, I think, because I hear so many voices telling me that Jesus is just not enough, that we need more. Therefore, it is this, performance orientation that I see, where people focuses more on our professionalism or on the performance or the entertainment we achieved through our well worked out programs. It's so packaged, rather than having a feel of simple obedience, of childlikeness, of absolute worship and reality. It's imperative that the Holy Spirit lead us. Too often we based our walk and talk on what others want us to be and to say. But Ethnos is a Christ-centered, not humanist program or culture-orientated organization. Therefore, our view of the Lord and our focus on declaring Him is paramount. As Chuck Swindoll says, your view of Jesus Christ will impact every area of your life. It has been said that if you want to understand the true nature of Jesus Christ, you should study the first chapter of John's Gospel, the 19th chapter of Revelations, and then of course the book of Colossians. If you have those three under your belt, you will have sort of a solid understanding of who Jesus is and what He desires to do in our world today. In other words, we will understand His invitation better. Now, Romans tells us how to enter into this fellowship with Christ, and then Ephesians and Colossians tells us how to abide therein. These two latter books represent the highest and the fullest and the richest representation of Christianity. In other words, Christ-centeredness. Right living is a supernatural fruit of right thinking. This is not let go, let God, but rather let God and let's go. His provision and our responsibility work in synergy and harmony. We have been raised with Christ, therefore we must live well in Him and put on qualities motivated by Christian love. And because Jesus is Lord over all, the life of the Christians, and especially us in Ethnos, is a life of complete submission and servitude to Jesus. So are we following Jesus as we should? Our faith in Jesus should transform every relationship and every area of our lives, our homes, our church, and the world. So we as the CLT wanted to give a short overview of Colossians chapter 1, because it describes Christ as supreme, as should we. He is the ultimate authority over all created things. We also see there a clear evangelistic message that the penalty for sin has utterly been removed because of the cross. All true Christians are brethren one to another, and faithfulness runs through every character and relationship in the Christian life. Faith, hope, and love are these three principal graces in the Christian life, and a proper matter for prayer and for thanksgiving, and we should abide in that. Now here is a thought. Paul wrote Colossians from prison, It is one of the greatest descriptions of Jesus in all of the scripture. What prisons are we facing? Is it finances? Is it our location? Is it religious restrictions? Is it cultural, language, geographical barriers? Or maybe our personal relationships in our families and in our teams? For us who know and love the Lord, the Spirit can turn these prisons into platforms to accomplish His will, just like He did with Paul. As a CLT, we want to invite you, therefore, to this journey with us as we acknowledge the Lord in all we do and through all our doing, and that we will encourage each other to keep doing what He has called us to. So, let's do it. Let's bring honor and glory to the Lord as we are encouraged in Colossians chapter 1. So we as the CLT wants to invite you once a month for the rest of this year to journey with us through Colossians chapter 1. And together we want to hear what the Lord is saying to us. If you have any thoughts, please send it through as well, and that we can embrace what the Lord is saying to us as a body through this incredible book.